Welcome to Lana's Homestead and my one-year permaculture garden. I've taken it from grass to sheet mulch to thriving food forests.
Hi and welcome to the homestead. Today I'm building a garden bed and I'm using a sheet mulching method to get it started. So I framed out the bed. I like to use just found logs. So I found a couple people on Craigslist who wanted to get rid of the logs, and then there was also a very large storm in my area, which I'll show you later in the video, where they were just basically all the downed trees in the area were piled in one area, and then they were just paying some company to come and take the trees away and make them into mulch, I assume. So one man's trash is another man's treasure. So for me, I want to use them. They're a great resource. So I went and took them. I got them for free, and I'm going to build my garden beds out of it. I also like they're kind of like a temporary. Like if you build a garden bed, frame it out with some nice wood that you buy and build it all together. It's not as movable as the logs are, and I can make the beds bigger or smaller, or you know, the shape is just more free-form. Like I can just change it at a whim, or I can decide, well, you know, this bed isn't doing well anymore. Now these trees are more mature and shading this area out. I want to make the bed smaller. I want to remove the bed. So that's another thing that I like about the logs. So what I'm going to do is place down some cardboard on the bottom over the grass. So the purpose of that is it kills grass, kills weeds. And then it also is it's natural, so it's organic, so it will slowly decompose and fertilize the soil. Then on top of the cardboard, I'm going to put just leaves. So there's it's fall now, so there's a lot of leaves in my front yard and some in the back, and I collected them, and I'm just going to fill it in with leaves. And then I'll also use some green slash. So some plants that are dying, because it's now becoming winter, and that will mix in. So we'll have like a 1 to 10 ratio. So we'll have 10 carbon and 1 nitrogen. And then it will sit for 3 or so months over the winter and get wet and decompose and become basically compost within your bed. Then in the spring, in April, I'll cover it with compost, and then I'll plant right in, and everything will grow. I did this same method with the larger bed in my garden, and I had great success. I would say the only downside was that I had some weeds. So if you don't put in any, compost that you've composted, or leaves, or Gaia's Garden is a great resource that I like to use, and they have like the author has like a kind of a method where you put down the cardboard, then you put down mulch, not mulch, but you would do like a sawdust or a hay or straw, and then you put, and it's very specific to the layers. My soil is really good, and I don't really feel like I need to add a super lot of amendments to it. And the sheet mulching is pretty forgiving, so it's given me success without having to follow like a very strict layering method. But I did have some problems with weeds, and if you just brought in your own soil, like went to your local garden center and filled that in with that soil, you're probably not going to have as many weed problems as I probably have had with the sheet mulching method. So that's one of the downsides, but it's free, and what I'm putting in the soil is from this region, and I think that when you do that, that things are going to grow that should be growing in the area, which is a great thing for native plants. But I'm not always planting native things in these garden beds. I'm planting, European vegetables and stuff in there as well. Anyway, so I'll show you how to do it today. So I'm here in a local park in my town, and after the the inland hurricane, there's been a lot of tree damage. this is just like one pile. There was like 3 other piles, but I've seen some big trucks come and take them, and I finally had a chance to come out. So I'm here today to collect some of this wood. I'm really sad to see so many trees being cut down, but I mean, some of them were damaged. I think a lot of people are worried that they're gonna like fall on their property. So I think they wanted them out, but I want the wood for my permaculture garden. I'm gonna use it for some beds and some trellises and fences, and I think it's a great resource. So it's free, and it's out here, they don't want it. I want it. So I'm gonna take some time today to collect some of this wood, and then there's a huge pile of wood chips. It's much smaller than it was before, and take some of that to use as a mulch. All right. It's pretty daunting when you get in there. There's some like insane huge tree trunks. Unfortunately, most of it is live wood, so it's like really heavy. You'll notice that the dead wood is so much lighter because there's no water in it, basically. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to take right now. I took a small amount that I thought was manageable and safe to remove from the pile, because it's like they just sort of like smash everything on top of each other. I mean, there's like some big machines and trucks that are coming to, you know, pile it on. I don't think they're doing it person by people. So I was kind of worried about removing something and then it all coming down. There's some like huge logs in there, like tree trunks in there. So I just took a small amount that is going to work for me, and now I'm going to head over to the wood chips. Okay, so this is the wood chip pile. I brought some just empty boxes and bins from my house. I'm going to fill them up with my shovel and take them home. What I'm trying to do is not to create any trash. I don't want to use like a plastic bag and then dump it out and then the bag rip, which I have done in the past. So my plan now is just to fill up my existing containers, use them for the wood chips, and then clean them out and use them again wherever I need them. These are just boxes that I've saved from different orders, and like this tape and stuff, that's not organic, so it's not going to decompose. I've actually like found the tape like coming out of the bed later on in the year because it's not decomposing, it just like naturally comes up. So I'm just going to make sure I remove as much of this tape stuff as I can. So this Amazon tape, I'm pretty sure it's natural. I think it's made out of paper. And because I haven't found any of that stuff from the backup. Cardboard down and filled in all the holes. You don't want any holes because the grass will just come right up out of those holes. So now that I got it all on here, I'm gonna just spray it with some water. This is just gonna get the decomposition started and keep it down so it doesn't blow away. So you can see there's already some green stuff in here. When we trimmed a bush out in the front of our yard, so that can be our green material. Now stuff like this, like a big stick like this, it's gonna take years to decompose, so I wouldn't put that in. Even like little, like this will probably be okay, but you might find that next year. Just kind of gets in the way of things. So you just want to get all your cardboard covered up, and it could be heaping, you know. It's gonna like diminish half its size by the time we're ready to plant it. And then you cover it with soil, and it'll smash it down. So there's even some green leaves in there, so that's good. That's gonna be your nitrogen versus your dead stuff over here. And there's grass clippings. Okay, so I think this is about it for the bed. I don't want to put too much and have the leaves blow all over the place, but I'm also going to get these wet, and that's going to hold these in place. Okay, so that's it for today. So now the bed is just going to sit for the next 3 months throughout the winter, and it's going to decompose. The leaves will reduce in size, and then in the spring I'll just cover it with compost and plant right in it, and I'll give you an updated video in the spring.